The shadows masquerade. In the depths of human consciousness, where light meets darkness and virtue dances with vice, Carl Jung perceived a troubling truth. Our greatest strengths often become the very instruments of our undoing. Like moths drawn to flame, we extend our hearts toward those who would consume our compassion, transforming our noblest impulses into weapons against ourselves. Jung's penetrating gaze into the human psyche revealed 6 archetypes of individuals who exploit the sacred trust of human kindness, turning our empathy into their advantage and our generosity into their gain. The emotional vampire, masters of manufactured crisis. They arrive bearing the weight of endless sorrows, their stories spilling forth like wine from a broken chalice. The emotional vampire dwells in perpetual crisis, each day bringing fresh calamities that demand our immediate attention and boundless sympathy. Yet observe closely, and you will notice how their emergencies multiply in proportion to your availability, how their recovery mysteriously stalls whenever your concern begins to wane. They feed not on blood, but on something far more precious, your emotional energy, your time, your capacity for joy. Jung warned that these individuals have learned to weaponize vulnerability itself, creating an endless cycle of need that no amount of kindness can ever truly satisfy. The Guilt Manipulator, architects of artificial shame. With the precision of a master craftsman, they construct elaborate scaffolding of shame around your natural boundaries. The Guilt Manipulator speaks in the language of moral obligation, painting your reasonable limits as acts of cruelty, your self-preservation as selfishness. They invoke the sacred bonds of family, friendship, or shared humanity not to honor these connections, but to exploit them. After all I've done for you, they whisper, or, I thought you were different. Each phrase a carefully placed stone in the wall of artificial guilt they erect around your conscience. Jung understood that these individuals have mastered the dark art of making us feel responsible for their emotional weather, transforming our empathy into a prison of obligation. The chronic victim, prisoners of perpetual persecution. In their world, responsibility is a foreign concept, and agency a distant dream. The chronic victim moves through life as though blown by invisible winds, forever acted upon but never acting, eternally suffering but never growing. They collect grievances like others collect coins, each slight carefully catalogued and preserved, each hardship transformed into evidence of their fundamental powerlessness. Jung observed how these individuals unconsciously choose helplessness because it grants them something precious, the moral authority of the oppressed and the protective shield of blamelessness. Your kindness becomes their validation, your solutions their new problems, your efforts their proof that the world owes them more. The passive-aggressive warrior, masters of covert combat. They wage war without declarations, strike without revealing their weapons. The passive-aggressive warrior has learned to transform silence into a sword, delay into daggers, and compliance into the cruelest cut of all. They agree with a smile that conceals a sneer, promise with words that carry the weight of resentment, and comply with actions that drip with subtle rebellion. Jung recognized this as the warfare of the weak, the battle strategy of those who lack the courage for direct confrontation but possess the cunning for guerrilla warfare against the soul. Your kindness becomes their battlefield, your trust their tactical advantage. The Boundary Violator, Cartographers of transgression. They map the territories of your tolerance with the skill of master explorers, always pushing just beyond the edge of your comfort, always testing the elasticity of your limits. The Boundary Violator treats your no as a negotiation, your discomfort as a challenge to overcome. They possess an uncanny ability to sense the precise moment when your kindness overrides your judgment, when your desire to be accommodating overwhelms your instinct for self-protection. Jung understood that these individuals have learned to exploit the very quality that makes us human, our capacity to bend, to accommodate, to make exceptions for those we care about. The narcissistic charmer, merchants of false intimacy. In their presence, you become both audience and stage, witness and prop in the grand theater of their self-regard. The narcissistic charmer weaves spells of manufactured intimacy, making you feel uniquely seen and specially chosen while remaining fundamentally invisible to them. They speak your language fluently because they have studied you with the intensity of a predator studying prey, learning to mirror your deepest needs and desires back to you in precisely the form most likely to ensure your continued devotion. Jung warned that these individuals have mastered the art of emotional counterfeiting, creating the appearance of deep connection while offering nothing but beautiful, empty shells in return. The awakened heart, wisdom born of wounds. Understanding these 6 destructive archetypes isn't about building walls around our hearts. It's about becoming gardeners of our own compassion. When we learn to recognize these patterns, we're not closing ourselves off from love. We're creating space for the right kind of love to flourish. Imagine a world where kind people are no longer naive victims, but wise guardians of their own light. A world where your empathy becomes a superpower, not a weakness. Where you can extend genuine compassion without losing yourself in the process. This is the world Jung envisioned, and it's the world we're building together, one awakened heart at a time. You see, every time you choose healthy boundaries, you're not just protecting yourself, you're teaching others how authentic relationships actually work. Every time you say no to manipulation, you're saying yes to genuine connection. Every time you honor your own needs, you're modeling what self-respect looks like for someone who might desperately need to see it. Your kindness was never the problem. Your discernment was simply waiting to catch up. And here's what fills me with hope. You're here watching this, learning this, growing this. You're part of a community that believes in the power of awareness, the strength of boundaries, and the beauty of conscious compassion. Together, we're rewriting the story that says good people finish last. Instead, we're proving that good people who are also wise people create the most beautiful, authentic connections this world has ever seen. So what's your story? Have you encountered any of these archetypes in your journey? More importantly, how are you choosing to transform that experience into wisdom? Your insights in the comments below might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Your story could be the key that unlocks someone else's healing. If this resonates with your heart and you want to continue this journey of conscious kindness together, I invite you to subscribe and become part of our growing community. Remember, the world needs your kindness, but it needs your wisdom even more. And when you combine the two, that's when magic happens. Until next time, keep your heart open, your boundaries strong, and your spirit curious. The best is yet to come.